A very warm welcome to my craft room. Today we're going to do 4 different sides of a 6x6 card, and creating is now in session. Hi, it's so good to be back in my craft room, and I'm going to do a 6x6 card for you today, and we're going to use this Bow Bunny pad of vintage style papers, and I'm going to show you foiling without having to have a mink machine. It's just absolutely, I think you're going to love this idea. And we're going to proceed to just do 4 sides of a 6x6 card like I said, and I'm going to throw in some ideas here and there for vintage style cards. And instead of doing one card, and you know my one cards are always done on each side, I thought I'd throw a lot of techniques into this project for you. And I just am so pleased to finally be creating in my new craft room. This is a 110-pound cardstock I'm using here. I measured it out and cut it out 6.5 by 6 inches, so I had the 1/2 inch to score so that our card could be 6 by 6. I love to do my vintage style cards, as you know, on 6 by 6 pages. So using a 8.5 by 11 inch cardstock, you're going to have to cut it, and that's what I did. I scored it on the 1/2 inch mark. Then I'm going to use my 1/2 inch ATG gun. I love that ATG gun because it is so crazy sticky. It's like double-sided tape. It's amazing. Well, I got a little bit of this card done before I had to take my ATG gun apart because I ran out of tape. Can you believe it? Yes. I have actually 4 projects on the go in my craft room where I came up, yes, looky there. We're going to use washi tape in a totally different manner. I think you're going to like it. But when you use washi tape and you're going to die cut or you're going to use your punches, you're going to need to use paper that isn't as thick, right? Because you're going to be going through a die cutting machine, or in my case, I'm going to be punching it out with a Martha Stewart punch. Look at that. Isn't it gorgeous? I love this vintage tape. And I'm going to show you, you know when you get these pads like this Bow Bunny, you always get these sheets that have like little tags in it that you can cut out separately right here, like these pages. I'm going to show you how you can take it and foil it using washi tape. Anyway, let's see how this goes. So I put down my sticky and I realized, oh no, I want to do around the edges with my vintage photo. So I go and I get my distress ink and I go around all the edges, and it's already sticky. Yes. And I just, oh, I had so much fun. It was last night actually when I went over to the farmhouse and decided I have got to craft. I have got to get a card and a video up for my wonderful subscribers. So I worked on this while my grandson and I were gabbing and enjoying each other's company. I wanted to take this time right now just to wish my wonderful American friends and subscribers a delightful 4th of July weekend. We just celebrated our Canadian Dominion Day. So I came over to the farmhouse and I didn't want to move anything last night, and I decided to make a card, and it was wonderful. Even running out of tape was wonderful. The things we take for granted, right? So I got my ATG gun all situated. I like the gold tape. I buy the gold tape because it's so crazy sticky. And I like the 1/4 inch ATG for projects as well. I keep both of them on hand. So I have my 1/2 inch ATG tape on there, and look at that. Yes. Doesn't all the time. I get my paper stuck if I'm not watching, but I just have to lift it off, and added some glue up in the corner there. My script writing in the background, all of it's in the right direction, so that's a good thing. And now we're going to use some gels by Golden. This is extra a heavy bodied gel, and it's matte. I love it. And this is not extra body, it is just a clear gel, and I'll show you the difference in them. They always go on sale for a really good price, and I love to use gels in all different forms when I do my vintage cards. I wanted to use a pocket right here so I could slide a bookmark in it, and I take out my 1/16 inch double-sided sequin tape. I put it around 3 sides, and this is going to make a wonderful pocket on the left side of my card. And it has the matching pattern in the middle because you use this inside the paper packs for cutting out little tags you want to use on your projects. So here I'm going to put it, I'm just checking the tape right down here, and I'm going to make a bookmark to slide inside it there. Isn't that wonderful? And it just all the papers work together when you use a full pack. Another wonderful, wonderful package are these stencils by Heidi Swapp. They were on for $1.99 for 4. Yes, 4 stencils that you can use paste on. You can spray them, mist them, but I'm going to cut the roses out of them, and you are not going to waste one single piece of this. It's almost like it looks like it's cardboard, but it's much thinner. It's absolutely fabulous. It takes to paste, it takes to glue, it takes to sprays. It's such a good deal because each stencil only costs you 50 cents. And I know that you would get a lot of use out of it if you blow dry it. If you're going to spray it with sprays, blow dry it after so that it holds the cardboard holds together. And these packs are gorgeous. The idea behind making this video, not only just for me because I needed to get my mojo going and I needed to craft. It's been a long time and I still have a lot of moving to do. But the reason I wanted to show you 4 different sides to this card with 4 different ideas that you can use to do a vintage card if you've never done one. They're absolutely amazing. Because your creativity flows in a whole new area that you can use up so many supplies in your craft room just by doing a 4-sided card. And here I'm going to use some tissue. I got this years ago over at Sharon's store. I think it was a few years back, and they come in a pack of 4 tissue, large tissue sheets, and it has the script, and my card has script going through most of the sides of it. So here's where we're going to use our light-bodied gel. I'm going to use it as a glue with my flat brush here, and the gel washes off just with warm water on your paintbrush, so it's just lovely. I wanted to show you how lovely it looks to use tissue on a vintage card. And in part 2, I'm going to show you how I decorate every side of this. And gel is nice opposed to the paste. It cleans up quickly. So here I have the script going, looking at me. It's in the right direction. I'm using some distress inking for the edges and just pushing it along there. And then I'm going to actually use my heat tool later on that I don't think I show in the video to dry it up. And then I'm putting my creating is in session there. And now I need to use this. This is the front of my card, by the way, this one with the tiny script. And I'm using the My Favorite Things stencil, the Brick Stencil, and I'm using this little wee knife that I got with my gelatos, and it's wonderful. It bends beautifully, and I want you to see how different. See how this paste, it's a matte paste, gel, excuse me, not a paste, and look how smooth this goes on. Oh, it's lovely. And then I want to do it in all different areas. I don't want it to be, you know, one great big brick wall going down. I change it up and move the stencil from here to there. We all know how to use stencils, but I want to show you how versatile the gel is opposed to using a paste. And I'm just getting one brick there and one brick there. And wait till you see the dimension we get heating up the gel. It's gorgeous. Now I'm going to use some of my Lindy Stamp Gang sprays. I'm going to show you, this is the small brick wall stencil. It's mixable stencils by My Favorite Things. and that's the code if you want to stop the video to get it, if you want to order this. It's only I think I paid $5.50. Yes, $5.50 US for this stencil. I use it all the time. It's wonderful. And with the gels, everything cleans up beautifully as well. Now watch as I heat up the gel, how the actual, yes, before I spray it, you get this dimension. It pulls the gel out from the paper, and it looks like actual different dimension of bricks. And here's my Buccaneer Bronze Lindy Stamp Gang spray. And what I do is I take the top off first and I run it across the top to make sure it's the color I want. And what I like about the wonderful Lindy Stamp Gang sprays is the gold hues behind it that mix up with the actual color. It's gorgeous. And see the dimension there on the bricks with heating it up, heating the gel opposed to heating up paste. It is wonderful. And now I'm going to add some more. I'm just running it across to see how much I want. Oh yeah, I want a lot. I love this turquoise. I'll post the name of that. I didn't put it on there. Grab some water, letting it run in between the bricks, and then I'm going to heat set it, and I'm going to show you how it pops off of the page. These bricks looks like you actually put bricks on the page. It's gorgeous. And now I want to match the colors up with my Heidi Swap cutout roses. Isn't it beautiful? I took my Heidi Swap stencils that I cut out. I'm using the Lindy Stamp Gang sprays to match it up, and I actually used some Tattered Angel browns to deepen it. And I just love the way the front page is turning out. And then when you heat set it, see the wonderful dimension you're getting, how they raise up on these gorgeous stencils. What a good buy. Check out Michael's with these. I didn't use my 40% coupon because they were only $1.99 a package of 4. And now I'm using my Deco Art luster right here, metallic luster in the champagne color. It's gorgeous. It'll last you a lifetime. I got this at Michael's as well. And I'm putting it, shading it over top just to match it up with the bricks. I think it just adds wonderful, wonderful dimension. And like I said, look at that. Everything cleans up so quickly. And I'm just so thrilled to be crafting. I can't even tell you. This is the front of my card, and I'm going to set it aside and turn to the inside where I want to put these Heidi Swap roses down onto the inside space. So I grabbed my gloss Mod Podge, and I'm just using my fingers here, and I'm going to glue it down to the script tissue. And you know, I wanted to do all 4 sides, not only because I always do when I do vintage cards, I try to do every side of my card, but I thought maybe you could glean a few ideas for the front of your cards if you haven't experienced or experimented with doing vintage cards. I think you'll just love it. One thing I like about the gloss Mod Podge is when you heat set it with your heat tool, it will lift up whatever type, like I did the sprays and I did the metallic champagne covering, and it will lift it off of the page and you'll get this fabulous dimension. I hope you can see it there. It's just amazing. And then it will dry. See how it's bubbling up there? Isn't that wonderful? It's just perfect. The cardboard is thin enough so that it's not overwhelming on there, but it's thick enough to have some substance to it, if that makes any sense. Oh, I had this gorgeous washi tape with script and roses, and I'm lining it up here. I only have one roll of washi tape that's actually gold foil. It looks like gold foil. So I'm going to save that for the end because it has stars in it. But if you substitute the washi tape I'm using here with a gold shiny washi tape, you are going to get the same effect using a die or a punch as you you would have gotten if you used the Mink or some other type of machine to foil your cards. So here I'm using a 65-pound white cardstock and the foil, and you can see with the Fence Martha Stewart, it cuts through beautifully. And it gives me that delicate look for another pocket on my card. And isn't that pretty? And all we used was a light pound cardstock and washi tape. And I saw Shelley Geigel do this on her channel. I love watching her do albums. And on her latest album, she did a technique with a pocket using washi tape gold, washi tape, and it looked just like you had foiled it with a machine. So check out Shelley's channel. She's truly a talented crafter. So here I'm using the 1/16 inch around the edges so that I have a lot of room to put whatever I'm going to do in here. I haven't decided yet. Some kind of pocket I'll slide in there for pictures or maybe a little waterfall extra, we'll see. But now I wanted to show you a wonderful technique with seam binding ribbon, that instead of wrapping it around your card and having to put it underneath your paper, watch how we do this. I think I lifted up to show you. You want to put score tape. First I cut the end off, and you want to put score tape on whatever the width of your ribbon is, but not in the middle. So I put a 1/16 inch on the top, and then I left a space and put 1/16 inch tape on the bottom edge. This is a 1/4 inch seam binding ribbon, so accordingly I didn't want to show the tape all the way through the ribbon, so I just put one on the top, one on the bottom, and you'll see it here. I put another one here so that the middle of the ribbon doesn't have any tape showing through, just the top and the bottom. So I'm going to take my seam binding ribbon and start on the left hand side. I'm going to leave a little bit over the edge to trim off later. I'm taking the tape off, and this is a wonderful wave technique, and it works beautifully with gorgeous seam binding. So you place a little bit down on the tape, you'll see in a little bit, then you lift it up and you put a little wave in there, and you do 3 of them. So I did 1 there, the tape is already on there, there's 2, and you can adjust it later, and 3. Then you're going to cut it off like I just did to tie a bow, and you start on the right hand side, leaving a little bit of an overhang. You put 3 little waves in it and then cut it off, and look what you have. You have the ability to tie a bow right here, but you have the double-sided tape to hold it for you. So it's going to be a perfectly evened bow. And you're going to have the stability because you don't have anybody there to help you tie it. So you're going to have the tape to be your extra fingers. And the seam binding gives you so much versatility when tying it on top of double-sided tape. And now you just cut it off, and look at that, the beautiful waves on each side, and you just trim the edges off, and you have totally shabby chic vintage ribbon on the bottom of your card. Isn't that oh so pretty? I'm going to take advantage of that line just underneath the scallop there to put some running pearls. They're very tiny, and it goes with the beautiful shabby chic vintage theme here. And I want to put that Heidi Swap stenciled rose we cut out on the top there. So now I need to use my glue gun. But I ran out of the small glue sticks, so I had to grab this other glue gun. That's why I buy everything in 2s. But I had a lot of fatter styled tubes of glue, so I got this one out, and I actually really like this one as well as my one that stands up. So I started the glue there, and when I just took my pokey tool to make sure that no glue was hanging off, and I run it across. Yeah, isn't that pretty? There's just something about vintage and shabby chic. The era just takes you back to a wonderful time in history. I just love it. I love putting pockets on vintage cards, even if you did just the front of your card. I love the idea of being able to put something inside to the recipient. And because I was using the glue, you want to make sure right away you separate it. And you can put so many little, you can put gift cards, you can put a little waterfall card, you can add so much. And in part 2, I'll show you what I'm going to add to this section. And this is the, remember, this is the back of the card. The bricks on the other side is the front of the card. And each side will have total different techniques. So I grabbed my my gloss glue there, my Mod Podge, and my finger. Nothing better than to put use your fingers when you use this. And this is the gloss. It doesn't matter whether you use gloss or matte. It all goes well. And now I want to use my prills. I want to get out my coral prills to match the paper, and that's what that is there. So the glue will help me to situate these coral, they're called Coral Sea, S-E-A, and then you just put it on top there, let the glue grab them, situate it with your hand there, and then you're going to grab some spray glue, and that's what's going to hold it to your rose. Separate it into the rose sections as you'd like it. Then get really close with your glue and spray it like that so the fumes aren't up in the air. You only need a couple of little sprays, and you can either take your heat tool or, like I did, just let it rest. I put it over top of my garbage can and took the little prills that didn't go on the rose. Here we go, just making sure all of them I'm keeping are inside the rose. Yeah, look how well that sticks. It's just wonderful. I love using this. And if you wanted to get some extra texture, just take your heat tool and heat it up. Oh, I love the back of this card. So that's the back, and we are coming to a close here. My grandson was gracious enough to come up here to my new craft room with me and keep me company. And yeah. So now here's the front. I'm making sure no prills get stuck to the front of the card, but the front I'll show you a beautiful technique to use on the bricks in part 2. So when I get a chance to go over to the farmhouse, I will finish that up. I wanted to leave those roses on the inside with the tissue, very subtle, and when you open it up, I just wanted it to make a statement. And isn't this nice? I have such a, look at that. I love prills. They come in all different colors, and there you have a little pocket, and I'll show you something really neat I'm going to do with that pocket in part 2. Now I'm going to show you this technique for foiling with washi tape. I took out a page that had these little sections in my 6x6 pad that you don't generally use all of these little tags that you cut out, so I covered them. I wanted to use the bottom section because the papers matched in my card, on my card, and now I'm laying out the only gold foil that I had, but it has little stars in it. But isn't it, oh, shiny, wow. Yeah, so you just put it on there, and like I'm doing here, and if you had like a beautiful gold, plain gold, like a flat gold, would look gorgeous. And any kind of washi tape, it will represent the same look as if you foiled it, and I think it's a wonderful idea. And then I'm putting it through the same punch. This is the gate punch from Martha Stewart, and it cuts through like butter. Now this washi tape had kind of like a film on the back of it, but it's fine. I mean, it looked great. I'm going to use it. And we're finishing up the video here with this technique. And isn't it, it's just great for pockets like in an album, or pockets like you see on my vintage card. It looks gorgeous. I love it. And now I'm just picking it up, but look at the stars. I almost need to put sunglasses on there. Yeah. It's wonderful. Look at, I'm just taking that off. I kept that in. I don't know why. I could have cut that out, but I just wanted to show you that that tape. I don't know where I bought this washi tape, but look at the glitters. I love it. So I'm cutting off the ends, and then I'm going to wrap the ends. And in the end of the video, talking about ends, I'm going to cover the two ends with the washi tape. So right there, see? And it's all gold, gold, gold. I love it. Oh, my grandson's visiting us there. Quick little visit. Well, thank you everybody for joining me. I know it's been a long time since I have been crafting since this move, and I took a break from moving things. Oh, there we go. Yeah, we have a visitor. Thank you. And so anyway, I wanted to do this vintage card for you. I wanted to just have some craft time for myself in between the stages of moving into our farmhouse, and there you have it. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at the sparkle on that washi tape. Thank you so much for joining me on part one of this Shabby Chic vintage card. I sure had fun coming over to my craft room and spending some time with you. To my American friends, have a wonderful and safe 4th of July weekend. And as a Canadian, we celebrated our Dominion Day, and I look forward to coming back in part two, not only to share my exciting news, but to finish up this beautiful card. I love making shabby chic vintage cards. So have yourself a blessed week, my friends, and please enjoy the pictures.